From the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, it's time for Bergstrom's State Line Quiz Bowl.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to Bergstrom's State Line Quiz Bowl. It is time for our second semifinal of Season 10. Last week, we saw Belvidere North defeat Pecatonica to clinch the first spot in our final. One of these two teams will clinch the other. First, let's meet the Dixon Dukes. Dixon is already writing school history. They made it to their first Elite Eight in 10 seasons. This is now their first Final Four. Congratulations to the Dukes and to Captain Aiden. Go ahead and introduce your team.
To my left is Sahid, to my right is Nathan, and to my far right is Owen.
Best of luck, and best of luck to the Belvidere Bucks. First perfect lightning round of the season in the quarterfinal for the Bucks. David's their captain. Go ahead and introduce us to your team.
To my right is Donovan, to my near left is Lindsay, and to my far left is Johanna.
Welcome, welcome, and good luck. Now, the Dukes and Bucks have faced off before, but it was 6 years ago, so Belvidere won that game, but none of these students were in high school to remember it. We're going to be setting some new history today, and we'll start with the Rockford University buzz-in round. So, fingers on buzzers, everyone. 10 points for each of these toss-ups. One chance per team. If your team buzzes in and gets it wrong, I'll finish the question for the other team. Best of luck, both. Our first round starts with our first toss-up. What religion, whose texts include the Promised Key, holds that the Bible was written in Amharic, venerates Haile Selassie? That is David.
Rastafarianism.
Rastafarianism is correct and began in Jamaica. 10 points. An August 2023 coup ended more than 50 years of rule by the Bongo family in what Central African nation governed from Libreville? That is David.
Gabon.
Gabon is correct. Good African knowledge there. Next question. What general who said, "I shall return" while evacuating? That is David.
MacArthur.
Douglas MacArthur, very good buzz there for history. While evacuating Corregidor during World War II. What crop, which was devastated in the early 1900s by the boll weevil, was? That is Donovan.
Cotton.
Cotton is correct. Boll weevil targets cotton. And first four for Belvidere. Next question. Most diamonds come from diatremes, which are pipes produced by what landforms that have shield and cinder? That is David.
Volcanoes.
Volcanoes, correct. Shield and cinder cone types. Next toss-up. What American playwright who wrote about Joe Keller, who intentionally shipped shoddy airplane parts in the play All My Sons? That is David.
Miller.
Arthur Miller is correct. Also wrote the plays The Crucible and Death of a Salesman. What measure of a solute's concentration in a solution is defined as the number of moles of solute per liter of solution? That is David.
Molarity.
Molarity is correct. 10 points for chemistry there. Next question. In 2023, what organization's members, while demonstrating at Willow Run in Michigan, became the first striking workers to be visited by a sitting president? That is Lindsay.
The SAG.
Sorry, no. Dixon, chance to take it. That is Aiden.
General Motors.
Sorry, no, on the right track there. It's the United Auto Workers. Next question. What novella, whose title character eradicates baobabs and falls in love with a rose? That is David.
The Little Prince.
The Little Prince is correct, by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Next question. In 2019, which European country added the word North to its official name? That is Donovan.
North Macedonia.
North Macedonia is correct, to settle a dispute with neighboring Greece. Next question. What class of materials that form by vitrification typically contain a network of silicon dioxide units and is often made by heating up? That is Nathan.
Glass.
Glass is correct for 10 points. Dixon's on the board. Next question. Hundreds of different plant species have been identified in what Sandro Botticelli painting that depicts flora among several figures in a garden? That is David.
Primavera.
La Primavera is correct, or spring. Next question. What type of work, such as Ottolenghi Simple by a winner of the James Beard Award, were also written by Julia Child, who included a... That is David.
Like food.
Sorry, no, I'll finish for Dixon. No, I won't. Nathan.
Cookbooks.
We're going for cookbooks there, exactly. 10 points. Next question. What title objects in novels by Yugoslav author Ivo Andrić and French author Pierre Boulle are found on the Drina and over the River Kwai? That is David.
Bridge.
Bridges. The bridge on the Drina, bridge over the River Kwai. 10 points for Belvidere. What woman who helped free hundreds of people in the Combie River Raid earned the title Moses of her... That is David.
Tubman.
Harriet Tubman is correct for 10 points. Combie River Raid made Tubman the first woman to lead an American military operation. What Japanese author of The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up calls for keeping only... That is Johanna.
Marie Kondo.
Marie Kondo is correct, keeping only those belongings that spark joy while decluttering. That's 10 points for Belvidere. A very strong first quarter for Belvidere. 130, Dixon 20. We'll have the volleyball round coming up next. Stick around. Welcome back to Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. Our first round got off to a quick start for Belvidere, but plenty of time for Dixon to make up the 130 to 20 gap, and that'll start with the volleyball round. So teams, this is a conferring round. You can set your buzzers down. Each question will be worth 10 points, and some might be easier than others, so be ready for anything, just like in volleyball, when the other team doesn't know how to serve. Thanks to the coin flip, we will start with Dixon. Aiden and the team, here's your first question. What general, who was born into slavery on the Breda plantation, led a revolt against the French on Saint-Domingue that became the Haitian Revolution?
Pierre?
Sorry, no, this is Toussaint Louverture. A very hard history question there. Over to Belvedere. In church architecture, what is the name for the central part of a church, surrounded by side aisles and stretching from the entry to the transepts?
Between the pews, what's that walkway called? It's called the aisle.
And there's a tricky question as well. That's the nave. Back over to Dixon. What German philosopher who used a hammer to elucidate his concepts of present at hand and ready to hand wrote Being and Time?
Schopenhauer?
Sorry, no, it's a good guess there. Martin Heidegger for that one, for Being and Time. Next question to Belvedere. What city is separated by the Shanchun River from Shenzhen, has the most skyscrapers of any city, and was handed over to China from the UK in 1997?
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong is correct for 10 points. Back over to Dixon. What comic book character, who is the father of Polaris and survived the Holocaust as a boy, led the Brotherhood of Mutants and can control metal?
Magneto?
Magneto is correct for 10 points for Dixon. Back over to Belvedere. What African desert, east of the Namib Desert, covers most of Botswana? The Kalahari Desert is correct for 10 points. Back over to Dixon. What English king fought the First Barons' War after breaking an agreement that he had signed at Runnymede in the year 1215?
Edward the First?
Sorry, no, that is King John. That agreement was the Magna Carta for King John. Back over to Belvedere. What tribal confederation lost the Battle of Alesia under Vercingetorix, was conquered by Julius Caesar, and populated most of present-day France?
Gauls. Yeah. Gauls.
The Gauls is correct for 10 points. Back over to Dixon. The complete hydrogenation of benzene produces what other ring compound, whose molecular formula is C6H12? Time's up there. It is cyclohexane. Hex for 6 carbons, and then cyclo for the ring compound. Back over to Belvedere. What artist painted 4 paintings for the Stanza della Segnatura in the Vatican, including La Disputa, the Parnassus, and the School of Athens?
Raphael.
Raphael is correct for 10 points. Back over to Dixon. What historical novel by Sir Walter Scott depicts Frank Osbaldistone's adventures with Jacobite rebels and is named for an alliterative outlaw?
Ransom of Red Chief?
Sorry, no, I do like the alliteration, and you've got the letter right as well. That is Rob Roy. Rob Roy. And that's the end of the volleyball round. So after round 2, we have Belvedere on 170, Dixon on 30. Those scores will stay there for a moment. We've got the Bergstrom bonus question for you at home right now.
Originally scouted by Missouri State as a 7th grader, what Iowa Hawkeyes guard eclipsed Pete Maravich to become the NCAA Division I all-time leading scorer among men's and women's players?
Welcome back to Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. We have Belvedere versus Dixon in our second semifinal of the season. And at the moment, those scores will stay right where they are because it is the Bergstrom bonus question time. So fingers on buzzers. At stake is a pizza party from Lino's of Rockford. Best of luck on this toss-up. Originally scouted by Missouri State as a 7th grader, what Iowa Hawkeyes guard? That is Lindsay.
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark is exactly right. Great anticipation on that. Caitlin Clark, among her many, many records in women's basketball, holds the record for the most expensive women's basketball card, a paltry $78,000 price tag on that, which is obviously what we have for the prize for the next Bergstrom bonus question. We'll take another break, and we'll be right back with the Nika IBEW Lightning Round right after this. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl, our second semifinal of the season. We've got Belvidere and Dixon, and it's time for the Nika IBEW Lightning Round. Teams are very, very familiar with this at this point in the season. You'll have a category choice. You'll have 10 questions in your category. They're each worth 10 points, and you'll have 60 seconds to play with them. If you don't necessarily like a question just yet, you can pass, and we'll come back to it. Anything that you don't get on your own lightning round, the other team will have 30 seconds to steal for themselves. Thanks to the coin flip again, Belvidere, you'll have the first choice of categories, and the choices this week are hydrogeography, F in literature, ABCs of games.
What do you think? That's like water. Just water? That's probably like easy. Probably. Sure.
Hydrogeography.
Hydrogeography is the choice.
Or like.
So the instructions on this
like
are pretty clear.
nations, like
Name these landforms that are linked to water in some way. So again, Belvidere, you'll have 60 seconds. Dixon, pencil and some paper ready to steal anything with your own 30 seconds after that. David and the team, are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Hydrogeography. Name these landforms linked to water. Feature where a river runs over a drop.
Waterfall.
Waterfall.
Correct. Narrow, steep-sided glacial inlets with a Norwegian name.
Fjord.
Correct. Region around some river mouths, named for a Greek letter.
Delta.
Delta is correct. Fertile location around a continuous, isolated water source in a desert.
Oasis.
Oasis is correct. Rock layers that store groundwater.
Aquifers.
Correct. Enclosed brackish region where a river meets the sea.
Estuary.
Estuary is correct. Islands running parallel to a coast that are natural breakwaters.
Banks. Sure.
Banks.
Sorry, no. Deep seafloor plains that cover over half the earth.
Sure.
Alluvial.
Sorry, no. Bowl-shaped glacial valleys in which a lake called a tarn can form.
Moraine.
Sorry, no. And ridges on riverbanks built up by successive floods. Time's up there, not quite a chance to get an answer in. First 6 all correct for 60 points, so we've got 4 coming over to Dixon. 30 seconds on the clock for Aiden and the team. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Name these landforms linked to water. Islands running parallel to a coast that are natural breakwaters.
Archipelago.
Sorry, no. Deep seafloor plains that cover over half the earth.
Reefs.
Sorry, no. Bowl-shaped glacial valleys in which a lake called a tarn can form.
Watershed.
Sorry, no. And the last one, ridges on riverbanks built up by successive floods.
Oh, Chevron.
Sorry, no. All those guesses are good, not quite there. The 4 answers there. Barrier islands run parallel to a coast. The deep seafloor plains are called abyssal plains. A bowl-shaped glacial valley in which a lake called a tarn can form is a cirque. And a ridge on a riverbank built up by floods is a levee. Levee or dike, we could have accepted either. So, that lightning round finished. 1 more to go. Dixon, your choices are F in literature, ABCs of games.
F in literature.
F in literature is the choice. So again, very clear directions on this one. Give these literary answers, and they're all going to begin with the letter F. So again, 60 seconds for Dixon. Belvidere, be ready for your 30 seconds if anything comes your way. Aiden and the team, are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Give these literary answers that all begin with the letter F. Ray Bradbury novel about book burning.
Fahrenheit 451.
Correct. The creator of Daisy Buchanan and Jay Gatsby.
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Is correct. The author who created James Bond.
Pass.
Pass. Ernest Hemingway novel about Robert Jordan in Spain.
For when the bell tolls.
Sorry, no. Author of Light in August and Absalom, Absalom.
Faulkner.
Is correct. Comic character in Shakespeare's Henry IV and the Merry Wives of Windsor.
Skip.
The French author of Madame Bovary.
Flaubert.
Correct. Experimental James Joyce novel featuring Humphrey Chimpton Earwicker.
Finnegan's Wake.
Correct. English author of Tom Jones.
Pass.
Pass. Isaac Asimov series about the fall of the Galactic Empire.
Foundation.
Correct. Author who created James Bond.
Fleming.
Correct. Comic character in Shakespeare's Henry IV and the Merry
Pass.
Wives. And that's time and pass at the same time. That is 7 correct for 70 points on your literature lightning round. Very well done. Belvedere, that gives you 3 questions to potentially bounce back. David and the team, are you ready?
Yes.
30 seconds on the clock. Here we go. Give these literary answers that begin with the letter F. Ernest Hemingway novel about Robert Jordan in Spain.
For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Is correct. Comic character in Shakespeare's...
Falstaff.
Falstaff is correct. And English author of Tom Jones.
Fielding.
Henry Fielding is correct. That's 30 points picked up on the steal. Very, very well done for the teams to combine and sweep that lightning round. We have a score of Belvedere 260, Dixon 100, going into the Mercy Health Final Challenge. Stick around for that right now. Welcome back to Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. Our second semifinals just about wrapped up. We've got Belvedere 260, Dixon 100. In the Mercy Health Final Challenge, toss-ups are now worth 20 points, and so a good run from Dixon can close that gap very quickly. Best of luck to both teams. Fingers on buzzers. Spot in the final is on the line, starting with this question. What animals, whose skins were worn by Norse berserkers in battle, are also the team nickname for an NFL team that plays at, that is Aiden.
Bears.
Is correct, that plays at Soldier Field in Chicago. Dixon starts off the round with 20 points. What philosopher who wrote that man is by nature a political animal in the first book of his 4th century BCE treatise Politics was taught, that is Nathan.
Plato.
Sorry, no, I'll finish for Belvedere. Was taught by Plato. David.
Aristotle.
Is correct. I do like the aggression there, Nathan. That's a very good buzz. Belvedere gets the points. In the 1st century, the Vietnamese Trung sisters rebelled against which Chinese dynasty? That is Donovan.
Han.
The Han dynasty is correct for 20 points. Good history. In 2023, what Democrat from New York won 212 votes on every ballot for Speaker of the House after he succeeded Nancy Pelosi as House Minority Leader? That is Lindsay.
McCarthy.
Sorry, no. Dixon, open shot. Time's up there. This is Hakeem Jeffries. Next question. Near an isolated point charge, what vector quantity equals the Coulomb force divided by the charge? That is David.
Current.
Sorry, no, not current. Chance for Dixon. That is Owen.
Voltage.
Sorry, no, both good guesses on the physics question there. It's the electric field strength. Next question. What athlete who made an over-the-shoulder catch in the 1954 World Series was known as the Say Hey Kid and played center field for the Giants? That is David.
Willie Mays.
Willie Mays is correct for 20 points. Next question. In 1922, Howard Carter led an expedition that found the intact tomb, David?
King Tut.
Of King Tut, exactly right, in the Valley of the Kings. What city to which the Curia was moved in 1309 was, until 1376, the home of that is Nathan.
Avignon.
Avignon's a fantastic history buzz there. French-dominated popes during the Babylonian captivity. Next question. In September 2023, the U.S. established diplomatic relations with Niue and with what other country, which is part of a free association with New Zealand? That is David.
Australia.
Sorry, no. Chance for Dixon. Nathan.
Tokelau.
Sorry, no, these are the Cook Islands. Next question. What type of gravitational force causes moons to break apart below the Roche limit and also leads to the daily rise and fall of, that is David?
Tides.
Tides is correct, the rise and fall of Earth's sea level. Next question. What 12th century Holy Roman Emperor, who reigned for 35 years, was opposed by an alliance of northern Italian city-states? That is Nathan.
Barbarossa.
Prompt on Barbarossa. Could you be more specific?
Frederick Barbarossa.
Exactly right for 20 points. And that's the last question of the Mercy Health Final Challenge. Really great early buzzes all throughout. We have a final score of Belvedere 360, Dixon 160. Congratulations to Belvedere. Belvedere, you'll be moving on to our final. We'll see you in a few weeks. And Dixon, we'll be seeing you as well. There's no shame in running into a buzzsaw like that, especially because you get a chance to play against Pecatonica in the 3rd place match, which we'll be looking forward to soon. Also looking forward to, next week we have our All-Star game. We'll see some very familiar faces from a fantastic season 10. We'll hope to see you there with us next week. See you then.